What does it mean to be a Persian, Indian, American living in the United States today?
Persian Indian is kind of an easy way of explaining it to people what it is. It's called Parsi, is the name of the community. And it's really based off of a religious background. It's Zoroastrianism, which is the way I describe it is some people remember the word because you learned it in your 7th grade history class. It was literally a vocabulary word, as I remember it. And it's a very, very ancient religion that was based out of ancient Persia, and it was a very prominent religion thousands of years ago. There's a group of people, some of them stayed, but some of them fled and moved to India. And those people are called Parsis. They're originally Persians, and they fled to India, but this was a very long time ago, maybe 1,000 years ago or so. So that group has a mixed culture because their ancestry is Persian, their culture is Indian. And my parents, they grew up in India, and then we were born and raised. Their kids were born and raised in America, so I was born here. And it's a very small community. There's only about 100. The numbers are all crazy, but about 200,000 in the world today. When they move to the U.S., you tend to move to the cities where the other ones live because everybody helps each other out. And so they're in the largest cities. Houston, my parents came to Houston because it's one of the places where there's this very tight Parsi community. And one of the things I've found from my experience is that they're very focused on achievement and people being successful. And just as immigrants, I think the combination of my parents being immigrants and going through such difficult times and growing up in a community where it's also a community that is very tight and wants, I've found people to be successful, their community members to be very successful. The combination has been this incredible support system for me. And every moment, like when I got an internship in New York City, and I'd never been to New York, we didn't know anything about it. It was scary when you're coming out of this tiny little suburb in Houston. I had a whole other community over there that was going to support me. Somebody gave me a place, one of our aunties gave me a place to live, and for free. She was just like, absolutely, we want you got a job here, this is fantastic, come live with me for free, I want you to succeed, I want things to go well for you. People would throw me birthday parties. I mean, I've never met these people. It's just, it's just that kind of environment and my husband's in Mauritius right now, and somebody learned that he met a Parsi person. And he mentioned, oh, my wife is Parsi. And she was like, well, come on over, come to our house. And it's that kind of environment wherever you are in the world, somebody's going to invite you to their house if they know what you are. And I was very insistent about keeping my last name because people find you, like the Parsis find you. When I went to business school and I was at Wharton, I got an email within my first 2 weeks of being there. And there's so few Parsis, but like one woman from some side of the Penn side emailed me and said, I found the 2 or 3 Parsis that were enrolled this year. And it was just this fascinating thing. And then of course she had little events for us and she kind of hosted us, and it's just this really fascinating, very unusual for modern day to grow up in that kind of a community.